Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily Bank Shot best bet, which is my top play in college basketball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Tuesday in college hoops. First up, we have Providence and Seton Hall. This one is 7 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. I think this is a good spot for Seton Hall at home. Yes, they've struggled mightily this season in conference play, especially with the 1-8 conference record, and their offense has been a big problem. A big reason for that, they have just not been a great shooting team, and they're turning the ball over quite a bit, but I still believe in this defense overall. They force tough shots. They force turnovers, which is important against Providence because the Friars have turned the ball over quite a bit in conference play. And Seton Hall is a solid rebounding team, which is important against a Providence team that is one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the conference. So I think Seton Hall matches up well in this game. They're playing at home. They're also playing with revenge. They lost to Providence in the first meeting between these two, and that was a competitive game. It was a final score, in the single digits, which we haven't seen too often in Seton Hall games recently, but it was a 91-85 game. So we saw the Pirates offense actually have one of its best days of the season in that game. I think one of the reasons for that, they forced 11 turnovers on 16% of the Providence possessions. Seton Hall really didn't shoot the ball that well in that game. They were only 32% from three-point range, but they had 20 trips to the free throw line. They had 16 offensive rebounds. Honestly, if Providence didn't shoot 48% from three, which is a lot higher than their season average, the Pirates could have won that game outright. So I think this is going to be just as competitive a game. I think this time Seton Hall ends up the victor. Give me Seton Hall in this one plus the points and on the money line. Next up, we'll go to the MAC as Toledo takes on Ohio. This one's actually going to be on ESPN2 at 7 p.m. Eastern. Not too many MAC games get the national TV game, but this is a rare exception. I expect Ohio to have a solid home court advantage in this one. I think Ohio's the better team. These are identical records, 11-8, 5-2 in conference play for both of these teams. And honestly, similar teams in the fact that they're strong offensively, but have not been great on the defensive side this year. Ohio's ranked 10th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency, third worst three-point defense in all college basketball, while Toledo, even worse, ranked 327th in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're ranked 341st in two-point defense. So both of these defenses, not so great, but I do think Ohio's is a lot better. They're playing at home, and I think just fundamentally this is the superior team. Now, I do wish Ohio was a little bit better on the glass on both the offensive and defensive side, but the thing is, Toledo, not necessarily a great rebounding team themselves, so I don't think the Rockets have a giant advantage there. I think Ohio honestly could compete, maybe win the rebounding game for a rare occasion in this one. I'm going to go to Ohio. I think when you look at Toledo, they've been impressive on the road at times. They're coming off the double-digit win over Bowling Green on the road. They had the 18-point win at Ball State, but they've also had some real ugly performances on the road in conference play and out of conference. We saw them lose to Akron. We saw the 78-49 loss to Houston, the 20-point loss to Purdue, and even a loss at Youngstown State, which is a winnable game for a MAC team. So give me Ohio in this one. I'm going to lay the points at home. Next up, we have Dayton and St Bonaventure. This one is 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Now, in college basketball, I'm not afraid to fade a team on a win streak or take a team on a losing streak. You look at the game between Providence and Seton Hall. We're taking the Pirates plus the points, and they've lost, I think, 6 games in a row. But this is a situation where I just think St Bonaventure, I mentioned at the beginning of conference play, I think this is an overrated team, and we're starting to see them really struggle. They've lost 3 straight games, 5 of their last 6, and I still don't think the losing ends right now. I like Dayton in this one. The Flyers, we saw them go into conference play. It was VCU and Dayton as the top 2 teams in the A-10. Dayton then lost 4 of 5 games. It looked like VCU was going to run away with this conference. Not so fast when you look at Dayton's now last 3 games. Wins over Loyola Chicago, Duquesne, and St. Joseph's. Duquesne and St. Joseph's. Duquesne was the reigning champion in the A-10 from last year. St. Joe's is a top 100 KenPom team. So Dayton's playing, arguably their best basketball since the win over UConn. And I think Dayton rolls in this one. I think they're the much better offense. I actually trust their defense a lot more. St. Bonaventure has a solid home court advantage, but I don't think it's going to be enough in this one. I think the Bonnies add another loss to their losing streak. Next up, we have Arizona State and Colorado. This one is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. I think Colorado gets its first conference win of the season, their second season as a Big 12 team. I like the Buffs in this one because, Arizona State, we backed them against West Virginia. They won that game outright for us. That was a big-time upset win. But still, the Sun Devils are just 2-6 in conference play. They've definitely been more competitive in the Big 12 this year than Colorado has, but a team that turns the ball over a ton, doesn't take too many great shots on the offensive side. I think their defense is a little bit overrated, and Colorado's playing at home, playing with revenge. They lost in blowout fashion the first meeting in Arizona State. I think this is a great spot for Colorado on that losing streak. We got an excellent price with the Buffs. Give me Colorado in this one. And the final game we're going to talk about for the Tuesday card in college basketball, it's Cincinnati and Utah. This one is 10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on CBS Sports Network. Now, Cincinnati, at the beginning of the season, we knew this defense was elite, but the offense had big-time question marks. It was fine in non-conference play when you're playing Morehead State, Nichols, Northern Kentucky, Georgia Tech even. But when we got to conference play and you step up in competition, play the Arizonas, the Baylors, the Kansases, you're going to have to be able to score. And Cincinnati has struggled on the offensive side into conference play where they're dead last in the conference in adjusted offensive efficiency, dead last in effective field goal percentage, 25% from three-point range is dead last in the Big 12. So I don't trust this offense right now. And honestly, you look at their defense in the last couple of games against Texas Tech and BYU, one a home game, the other on the road, 81 and 80 points given up in those two games. Their defense is now starting to struggle quite a bit. You go on the road against Utah, a team that's been inconsistent in conference play, but a team I think is better than its current record and better than its current ratings, and a fundamentally sound team, a good rebounding team that gets to the free throw line. Now, both of these teams are dreadful from the free throw line. Utah is ranked 358th in the country. Cincinnati is ranked 349th. But like I said, the Utes do a much better job at getting those opportunities at the charity stripe. So even if they're only hitting about 60% of their shots, at least they're going to be getting some shots at the free throw line compared to Cincinnati. Just does not do a great job there. So I'm going to go with Utah in this one. Probably an ugly defensive battle, but I think the Utes take this one. And that's it. Those are the games for Tuesday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets and my top play in college basketball, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. There's a link in the description as well. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.